Hey there, Maple Avenue. So you guys just went through here that debate between Cicero and Caesar, and there was three very specific questions that they asked both of the characters. And I'm just going to go through this video and kind of review some of those main points as a recap and also hopefully to clarify anything that might have been confusing. So the first one was, is it important that a single person have authority to rule so that government can be efficient? So the main takeaway between those two would have been Caesar said, hey, no, we got to do things efficiently, quickly and efficiently. That's the only way to get things done. While Cicero said, well, hold up. The reason why we set the Senate in place in the first place was because we've had in the past kings who've abused that efficiency title. So we want to make sure we have stability. Cicero values stability and making sure that things are done more accurately. It might be slower, but he wants to be done more accurately and thinking through all the questions that could be arise. While Caesar was, let's get it done quick. We got to be efficient with this. That's the main difference there between the two. And you'll probably see going throughout their other questions, and what you probably noticed was Cicero's main thing was one thing. Everything comes back to stability, which in the last video that you watched, the one that's not of me, you started to realize, oh, he really wants people to start to think about things and not do things irrational. So that's one of the big points about Cicero is, hey, let's think about it. The second question that was posed in that debate was, the government should represent all its citizens, not just those from noble, wealthy classes. Now, within the debate that you guys read, and also we probably pick up a lot of that sentiment too when we looked at the book Julius Caesar in class. Caesar said, well, the Senate's corrupt, and the only way that we're going to stop the Senate from being corrupt is we got to get rid of their power. So he thought that the Senate was corrupt. It's not there for the people, the common people. It was kind of just there for themselves. The Senate was taking kind of bribes at this point, or if you scratch my back, I scratch yours. It talked about the word political favors within the Discovery Ed clip that I had you guys take a look at and you've read. That political favors can be also known as patronizing a person. We see that a lot today within our own politics in the U.S. with people offering favors and, hey, I'll donate $1 million to your campaign or 500,000 if I can get this done in my state or my area, etc. So Caesar said, hey, Senate's corrupt. We need to stop it. They're not there for the common people. This is where Cicero comes back and says, well, hold up. The Senate is here to guide the consuls, so the kind of more people in charge. They're like an advisory council, if you will. That's how Cicero was explaining it. And that's therefore, once again, it mentions that word, stability, right? They're saying, we're trying to find the truth. We're trying to find the facts. What's the best route to do that? The only person that can do that, or the group of people that can do that here, is the Senate. So Cicero is all about stability, all about the Senate there. And he says, well, we're kind of there for guidance. And he wanted the people who were kind of more in charge, people who he felt that knew what Cicero thought, knew what they were doing, to be in charge. He didn't quite trust the common man and their incentives. Very beginning of this, I talked about that mob rule. This is kind of that response to, hey, you don't want to give the common man all this because could really come back to mob rule, and that completely defiles stability. Now, the last question that was posed for the three people were, the main thing is tradition and stability are the most important goals for Rome. Well, Caesar responded to this as, well, stability does not always mean stability in what's the best for the common man. Sometimes it has its place, tradition has its place, but Caesar says it's not always best for the common man. Instead, we must bring change. So change is needed, according to Caesar. While, once again, Sergio comes back and says, once again, Caesar, we're looking for stability. The only way to have stability, even if it's a slower process, stability is done through a slower process. It's the only way to truly get all the facts. So that's really the main difference here. If I had to summarize what the main difference between Cicero and Caesar was Cicero is this guy who he said, if you had to summarize what he is, take things slow, look at all the facts, and then act. While Caesar was if you see an opportunity, take it. Because who knows if that opportunity will be there any longer. Those are two of the main differences between Caesar and Cicero. Now, what I want you guys to do next is, I talked about a discussion forum before. It's going to be posted within Schoology. I want you guys to take a look at that and respond. I'm going to try to get through those throughout this week, kind of give you some feedback on those. And hopefully we can have a sort of a discussion there in the discussion board. So check that out within Schoology. That's a good place to ask some questions too. Hopefully I can clarify things, and we'll go from there. All right. See you on the discussion board.